emergency matter, this Arepo pipeline fire. So much is said, in fact, has happened that you may not be aware of. Some of the backstory has gone down. But we do have a report about it anyway, and so we'll bring it to you and start off with it. Okay, some challenge thought that we need to hear, not just see it. But we need you to hear it so that we'll set it as a background.
2 days and the fire which gutted an NNPC pipeline at Arepo area in Ogun State is still on. Almost every agency needed are present, and virtually all equipment needed to put out the fire here. The several agencies that are on ground here, the Federal Fire Service is here, the Ogun State Fire Service is also here, and the National Emergency Management Agency is also here. But unfortunately, they cannot move from this point up to that point where the fire is still burning. But there is a big challenge which is keeping everyone from crossing over.
It's a very, very, very swampy, inaccessible route coupled with security challenges.
Burning.
It's still burning because there's no access to that place. And we are making a necessary arrangement to gain an access. The moment we gain access, everything will be okay.
Shortly, a canoe arrived, and as we prepare to move, one of the security agents discovered the owner of the canoe is one of the vandals, and we may have been trapped. Before they got him, he jumped into the swamp. Soon after, the vandals began to shoot from the woods in our direction. And for hours, no one could make a move. The fire kept burning, and these fumes escaped into the air uncontrolled. Well, the dangers in the delay are also in our faces.
If it goes beyond tomorrow, which whereby the bodies will be decomposing, we have to go into public and access all the streams and tributary of the river that we go to residential areas and give warnings that nobody should consume the waters, stream and other things around them. So that's the responsibility of NEMA and the Ogun State government.
Here is a security house built for security agents guarding the pipelines around this area. These holes on the walls are not dents from nails, but bullet prints after a recent gun battle between the NNPC security operatives and the vandals. Few hours after we almost got ambushed, the vandals wasted no time in bringing back their jerrycans, a sign to tell us we have been in their way all day and business for them for the day is being jeopardized. From our interaction with residents and some of those who are guarding the pipelines, the vandalization of oil pipelines and illegal oil bunkering is a very complex issue. A big question here is, who do these vandals and oil thieves sell these products to? Oil may be a blessing to us, but the pains that comes with it are definitely perturbing. When the fire is put out, no one knows the vandals' next point of attack, and securing the thousands of kilometer-long pipelines across the country remains a big challenge.
Well, there you have the report there. Apparently, it does look as though the vandals care less about the decomposing bodies. Well, now we're joined by Mr. Yola Hakonde, who is the NEMA Southwest Coordinator. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
Well, it's, yes, indeed, sad development concerning that particular matter, the way it's playing out. But what has NEMA been doing about this?
Yeah, graceful enough, the fire was put out about 5:30 yesterday evening.
After how many days? 4 or 5 days?
After about 4 days.
How did you do that? How did you go?
Yeah, sure. All hands had to be on deck. We saw the fact that it was not an ordinary fire. It's an amphibious type of fire which needed special foam chemical to put out. So we had to contact the NNPC itself. So the pipeline monitoring unit right of way of the NNPC came around, and they had their special equipment and they were able to put it out.
What about
After actually they know the way they negotiate with the vendors. There was a way they did it.
In terms of how you overcame
the challenge.
Because what I actually wanted us to look at here now, good enough, we had there was a good collaboration between NEMA, NNPC, and maybe I think there was also the Security and Civil Defense Corps. They were all there. Perhaps even though the report, we were also on the ground, we want to know how all of that started in the first place. When the fire outbreak, or in fact when the fire broke, we felt that it was just an easy ride through the swarms. But did you at any point in time discuss with the people around the area? Because we've been trying to speak with residents and they say, well, this is not the first time that the vandals have even come to some homes in that locality to attack them if they volunteer information to anybody.
Yeah, sure. When you approach a completely new terrain to you, you have to do some recce. You have to talk to the people to know how to approach the area. Otherwise, you may endanger yourself. So we've been talking with the residents, especially there is an NUJ estate there, and the people are enlightened. So we spoke to members of the estate, and they gave us insight into the fact that this was not the first time this kind of thing had been happening, but this was a little bit beyond the ordinary, and that is why it attracted this attention. So be that as it may, the challenge is that whether on a small scale or on a large scale like the one we witnessed some few days back, such things should not be allowed to happen in our environment.
I think people will agree with you, because that particular pipeline, we understand, runs across so many states down to Kwara State, that is in Ilori, and if NNPC had decided to shut that particular pipeline, there would have been some kind of chaos in southwest down to north central. As of yesterday, has anything been done after the fire was put out? Were there men of the Niger police or any of the security agencies keeping watch over that particular scene of the incident?
Sure, the security forces are there, but I would think that the number and the kind of equipment they carry should be improved upon in order to at least ward off the vandals, because the vandals have been having some field days, probably because the security was not sufficient.
You know, watching this particular incident, my first thought is, what exactly is the role of NEMA? Does NEMA attend to issues like this?
Yes, we attend. You know, NEMA is a coordinating agency. Without NEMA being there, you won't be able to gather all response agents to the scene. NEMA has the contact of all response agencies, depending on the type of disaster. In this case, it's a fire disaster, and the first responder is the fire service.
We know that it took a while for the fire service to get there. What time? We understand that the fire broke out Wednesday night. What time was NEMA informed? When did NEMA get the information?
Yeah, sure. Let me seize this opportunity to give NEMA response call center number to the members of the public. Probably you can beam it on the screen for the benefit of those who are watching today. Like I said the other time during our last interaction, it is 0800 22 55 6362. This could be cumbersome, and when there is an emergency, you may not be able to readily remember this number. So it has been coded. You just put your 0800, then by the time you say call NEMA, all other numbers will come out.
Do you embark regularly on sensitization about what people should do, who they should call, how they should go about it? Because I'm sure many people know about this.
Of course. Like, we are inviting you to be our collaborator and stakeholder in this event.